Duke Carolina round two was more entertaining than round one, Cart. Largely because it was actually a competitive basketball game. Duke will not tell you that they played their best, but they overcame some adversity here. Cooper Flagg, with foul trouble in the first half, only ended up playing 29 minutes. Really needed to lean on some of their secondary options and ultimately Coop to get back in the game to make a run late. And RJ Davis was up for the challenge early. He had 15 points at halftime, and North Carolina had a lot of chances to win this game. Only a 1 point deficit at halftime. They led by as much as 7 points early in the second half. This was very much a game that Duke was vulnerable to losing, and then Duke duked again and became the best team in the country in the final 15 minutes, stretching this to a 13-point victory. What's your biggest takeaway from Duke's win?
That Duke is scary even when maybe the top guys aren't necessarily playing well the whole game. Now, I think you look at the end, Cooper Flagg ended up with a solid stat line, obviously, but he only played 29 minutes in this game. But Khan was able to step up. Tyrese Proctor stepped up. Sion James was incredible, I thought, in this game. This team is just very, very balanced, and also they're just able to get stops. That's the thing. Like UNC, I thought was really good in the first half, especially RJ Davis and some other guys, Ian Jackson. I thought should have played more in this basketball game, in my humble opinion, given the shot making that he was providing. Um, they just shut off the water on teams. Like they held UNC to 27 second half points, and they just were not able to get anything going. There was nothing Hubert could draw up, even if he was trying to draw up anything. Coop was blocking shots, looking at the UNC student section, saying, "This is my shit," and it was. Um, it was just it ended up being a pretty dominant Duke performance. And I think it shows that a lot of guys on this team can step up outside of the Coops and the Cons. Like Tyrese Proctor was good in this game. Like I said, Sion James was. Malik Brown comes off the bench and gives you two threes. Um, this Duke team is just they're just really good. I don't really know what other things to say about it. They came into this game where yes, they needed to win the game, but UNC needed this game more than life itself to breathe, to secure their tournament bid, to finally win a quad one game or win their second quad one game. And they had a chance to, and they were getting a great performance by RJ Davis, but I don't think RJ Davis scored in the last 17 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it felt like he was destined for like a 30 ball, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he got to 20 and it's like he was running like a 5K and he got through 3 of the 5Ks and just like got to one of those beer stands and just walked the rest of it,
Yeah.
which is something you and I have both done.
Been
So
there. Yeah, it's like we were at Mackey and the game was great, but then we got caught up at the Vizzy stand, and we're like, we're good. We enjoyed our time.
yeah, like he got what he came for, right? I did my thing, got my 20. This was fun. Oh, now I need to go like elevate a worse team to a win against a much better team. I'm good.
Yeah, also no one was there to help him out in any regard. At least guys on I mean, Seth Trimble goes 1 for 9 in this game. Drake Powell didn't really do much. Withers gave you a three, but he wasn't. I mean, I thought I saw some funny tweet. I don't know if someone was joking or not. North Carolina and Hubert really try to use Jalen Withers like he's Nas Reed, and he's just not.
He doesn't have that many other options though, right? Like that's just the shitty part about this UNC team. Unless they went all the way in on pure small ball and just play Ian, Seth, Drake, RJ, Elliott, which comes with massive defensive issues. At all times, they're playing a really bad player in the front court. Like there's no one that can play either the 4 or the 5 that is like remotely acceptable for a contender to be playing.
Right. And they're small and they don't check. This team
Yeah.
has a lot of deficiencies.
Yeah.
Hence why they're not good. Like I said. Also at the same time, whether RJ Davis wanted to or not, I'm pretty sure there was some timeout or some media timeout where John Shire's like, hey, let's just stop RJ. And Duke's like, yeah, you know what? Let's do that.
Maybe stop letting star.
Yeah. And then like Sion James and Tyrese Proctor, like, we're like, yeah, you know what? RJ's like small. Let's just stop him.
Yeah. Yeah, that he is. That he is. What'd you think of Duke's depth in this game? Because for one of the first times all season, I do think it was really tested. And look, obviously, Coop gets in foul trouble, plays a lot less minutes. You will see a little more of that. I was going through game logs. Coop hasn't played a ton of minutes lately. I think that's intentional. Like they're in huge blowouts, and I think Shire's kind of just like one, making sure he stays healthy, but two, you don't need him. But you go through the last month. He's had 6 games under 30 minutes in his last 8 games. Like that's crazy for the best player in the country. Still a bunch of Ken Palm MVPs in there,
Yeah,
but
fresh.
right, keep it fresh. But in this game, it was different because it wasn't by design. He
Right.
played 29 minutes in this game because he couldn't play more because he picked up 3 fouls very early. Now he ended the game with 3, which is a great testament to why you shouldn't auto bench guys. But in this game, just to lay it out more clearly, what I'm saying about the role players. Malik Brown back in the lineup, 16 minutes, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Thought he was good in those minutes. Caleb Foster, who has come all the way out of the rotation at times, actually had a moment in this game with a tough bucket when Duke really needed one. Didn't do a ton. I'm not going to act like 2 points in 9 minutes is crazy, but that was a bucket like when the game was still up for grabs and Caleb
Mhm.
Foster was on the floor making a meaningful contribution. Isaiah Evans falling out of the rotation as guys are getting healthier. Only 9 minutes in this game. Did not even attempt a 3-point shot. I don't love that. But this felt like Duke had all of their horses again for the first time in a while. Did it feel like this was them at full strength again?
It did to me, especially because I think everything kind of, I mean, you look at the stats, they shoot well from three, they shoot well from the field, they shoot well from the free throw line, the rebounding's there. I just thought it was a pretty, outside of the turnovers, they had 14 in this game. Um, I thought they were pretty much kind of business as usual, and I think you see what the rotation is going to be. And Cooper obviously dealt with foul trouble in this basketball game. I just want to point out, even he played 29 minutes, and I would say that Coop honestly didn't play that great given the foul trouble, and he ends up and spits out 15, 9, 6, and 4 blocks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, this National Player of the Year.
He's the best.
Yeah, he's the best player in the sport.
Now, did you see what Janai did though?
I did.
And you're sticking with the guy in foul trouble in the Carolina game?
Yeah, I'm sticking with the guy that has done what Janai just did in that last game, like the last 7 games.
Has he done that? What's Coop's high this season? 42? Yeah, yeah,
42.
yeah. Is that his only game above 30?
We had 28 against Wake. He had 28 earlier in the year against NC State. He had 28 again at BC.
28 more than 30?
Yeah, no, he hasn't reached 30.
I mean, 34 with those clutch shots, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 blocks, 3 steals was pretty crazy Janai performance.
Yeah, I mean, just Coop's averaging what, 20, sorry, 19, 8, 4. How many
Yeah.
blocks?
It's one of the best player of the year races we've ever seen because of how often it's swung. Like it seemed like Janai Broom became the betting favorite 2 weeks ago, and then Janai started stinking, and Coop was sensational. And then in this game, where like I think one big loud Cooper Flag performance in this game, and he would have stolen it outright. And instead, he's in foul trouble. North Carolina leads midway through the second, and then Janai. Look, I understand Auburn lost the game. That doesn't help his case, but
Janai went crazy.
Janai went crazy and he hit the shot to like extend the game. Like there was just a lot of this Janai stuff. So
Yeah, it has been a fun race to watch, and it has gone a little bit back. I mean, Janai needed that performance after the past two he's had, so
yeah,
you know,
I think they're
it,
going to split. That's my read.
you
Again, my
think?
vote would still be Cooper Flag, but if you were someone like me who wanted Cooper Flag to win this outright, I don't think a foul-ridden performance was what you wanted the final day of the regular season.
Yeah, probably. Good point.
But he countered that with talking to the student section and his parents doing this.
Yeah, wrong call. Wasn't on anyone's head. Bad parent, bad parental awareness. This is the type of conversations that have come of this North Carolina program. It is a program that's like, oh, well, We pushed them. We're spunky. That was fun for like 26 minutes. This team stinks.
Did you see the game day stuff beforehand where they cheered losses?
Did you see the clip after the game of the young lady who was in tears and then hit a, well, at least they tried hard.
What do they do?
You got to clean house.
What does clean house mean? Everybody or
Yeah,
players, coaches, everybody?
for the most part.
What's for the most? Who do you want back if you're a North Carolina fan next year? Sean May?
Yeah, I mean, I personally like Sean May.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Relax. I mean, I lobbed that one. That's on me. I think I've seen enough from guys like Powell and Jackson that I'd want them back. I think
Oh,
everyone else can go.
do you want Seth back?
I don't think Seth does not want to be back.
Do you want Cano back?
No.
So you basically only want the two freshmen, and the two freshmen may just go pro anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the clean house.
Yeah. Probably need to. But this at the same time, like they were in this game, not to actually do moral victories, but we spent the whole preview being like, is this a new version of Carolina? It felt
Mhm.
like this was a more competitive version of North Carolina. Do you disagree with that?
Yeah, they put their dukes up.
Okay. And they still didn't cover at home against Duke.
Yeah.
What'd you make of the foul calls? Did you think I don't know, it didn't affect the game in the end, but like
Yeah, it didn't affect the game. The honestly, the third one, I was more so like, what is Coop doing? I'm pretty sure he drove into the lane, and someone was just waiting there like 10 seconds and drew the charge. Um, but I mean, nothing like egregious. There was no like Sparris level fouls in this game or something like that for the Illinois fans that watch this. I wouldn't even talk about that in that video when Sparris just blocked someone clean and they called a foul. But in any regard, not non-jokingly, good on UNC for competing in this game.
tip of the cap to Carolina.
Yeah.
Great job making it somewhat competitive against your rival.
Yeah, good job. Um, maybe you'll get a chance again in the ACC tournament. Maybe third time's the charm. Maybe it'll be single digits this time.
What do you think Carolina is going to do in the ACC tournament?
Are they the three seed, two seed?
I'll pull up the bracket right now.
I want to say Clemson's two and they're the third seed.
They shouldn't be three. It should be Clemson and Louisville.
Oh, Louisville too. Yeah, maybe
They are the five seed.
they're the five seed in the ACC tournament.
Wake Forest is the four. They get
All
either
right.
Notre Dame or Pitt.
No, come on, man. Let's take a step back here.
Do they need to win games to make the NCAA tournament in this
Yes.
tournament?
Yes.
How many?
I think they need to win it because where's their quad one win coming from?
If they win two games, they would get to Duke. They'd have to beat Pitt or Notre Dame, then Wake Forest to get Duke.
I don't think they get there.
I don't think they want to get there.
That's crazy, man. The being the fifth seed in this ACC is damning.
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. You know what this reminds me of? Can I do the thing where I compare it to my program all the time?
Yeah.
This is the Jet Howard, Kobe Buffkin, Michigan team that missed the tournament, barely. And then they followed that season up with the bottoming out 8 win season.
Some of the guys that played for this UNC team would not play on those two teams you just mentioned.
Like who?
Like you think Withers and those guys are playing on those teams?
I mean, Terrence Williams did very similar, but I see like Drake and Ian as like this team's Jet Howard and Kobe. Like, oh, they're
Okay.
talented. Hunter Dickinson and RJ Davis. Like those guys, this team should be better than they are.
Yeah, I can see that.
They're just kind of not. And then they clean house and you're like, oh, maybe fresh start. Maybe this team likes each other more. And then you don't have the talent next year and it all comes crumbling down.
Yeah. Tough times to be a UNC fan.
Not happy times.
Not happy times whatsoever. My prayers.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, congrats to Duke. Do you want to see Duke Carolina round three?
Not really.
That's my issue. For the first time as a college basketball fan ever, I don't want to see another round of this.
We're good.
And that's an indictment on
If
this.
if last thing, if there is another round, how's that round go?
Duke by 26.
Sounds about right.